So Jackson State is going to be playing Southern Miss USM in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And interesting enough, it was revealed that Southern Miss game, which we call them money games, right? But to me, I wouldn't say this is a money game because we make way more money than that. Way more money than that. So I just wanted your thoughts on this. Let me pull it up. So Southern Miss will host Jackson State at Roberts Stadium in Hattiesburg, Mississippi on Saturday, September 6, 2025. The Eagles will pay the Tigers $375,000 guaranteed for playing the game, according to the copy of the contract. And I said, I know this game was scheduled years in advance, but 28,000 people in the stadium and it looks empty as hell, and tickets are only $35. That's still $980,000, not including parking or concessions. I would have bought out this game and tried to make a Tennessee State versus Jackson State happen, or I would have got a different game. I'm sorry.
That's what I said.
$375,000 is poverty wages, and you can make
Thank
that
you.
at a home game. Folks be like,
There you go.
the stadium looks empty. The stadium, we don't care. Our half empty stadium is more than your stadium at capacity. Okay?
Yeah, but
We
you know
ain't
the
even
reason
in the,
why.
we're
But
not
you
even
know
in
the
the same bracket when it comes to attendance and stadium games. Everybody's like, but it was your stadium's half empty, and we're still clearing in attendance in all of FCS.
but you know the reason why this USM game was on here, right?
Was this a Dion game?
Yep.
So is this the last Dion game that we got? Because I'm tired. And I don't believe that Dion would have negotiated this for 375. I think this was no, I don't
I
believe
don't know.
Dion.
You remember he's a coon now. Don't
No,
forget
he
that
might
he's a
be a
coon.
coon. He might be a coon, but he's not accepting
Yeah.
no game for no 375. He's not.
Well,
We pulled out of the Tennessee State game because of a contract where you're paying 375, and that's a black game with history.
Well, it's really not. Dion don't schedule the game. He didn't even schedule this game. It was the AD that scheduled the game.
So you saying AD Robinson? That's who that's who I need to be interviewing.
There you go. That's right. And then the commissioner after that.
The commissioner is
Still
more than
working on
likely not going to come on my platform for quite some
I don't
time.
know. I don't know. I think if you asking me, Will.
Unless it's maybe like a different type of setup, maybe. But yeah.
No, you're doing just like you did the other. No, you do him like you did the other night. You do your portion with the commissioner. You do your 35 minutes with him, and then you open it up to the floor, and they send it in the questions in. If you don't, you're not, you don't like the question, throw that out and go to the next one. Oh,
but Hattiesburg is an hour and a half, right? It's only an hour and a half.
Yes, hour and a half.
Yeah.
That's not nothing. That's not nothing. That's right down the way. Jackson State gonna take over their stadium. That's gonna be Jackson
Easily.
State South.
That'll be easily. That's why they got the game, so you can make money for them.
That's why they hurry up and fired that coach and hired the coach that they hired, because they didn't want to get embarrassed by Jackson State. Because I promise you, if they had the same coach and the same type of setup as they did this past season,
Will Hall was terrible.
We'll whoop their ass.
He just got a job somewhere, didn't he?
He did got a job somewhere, but he was terrible. He was terrible at Southern Miss.
Well, where did he come there from? Is he the one that came from West Georgia?
I think so.
Yeah, because he was a young guy.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be one of those walk in your trap, take over your trap. But I will say this. Even if we had 28,000 people in the stadium and tickets were only $35, that's $980,000, not including parking or concessions. I liked what the city council did for Jackson State in terms of the SWAC championship, where they gave them a certain amount of money to cover some of the cost associated with the SWAC championship game. I am hoping that possibly maybe they could do that for give us some money for the season. The same way they gave us for the SWAC championship, maybe give us 100,000 or 200,000, basically to cover those out of pocket costs for security, for painting the field, provide. I forgot what other types of expenses that we have at the stadium, but I'm thinking security is one of the main ones. Security, staff, and then the painting of the field and stuff like that.
You got to reside that field too.
Right. So I'm thinking that those are some of the things that are out of pocket expenses. But I'm telling you, like, folks be like, oh, there wasn't nobody at the stadium. I promise you that 26,000 is more than any HBCU home game, any HBCU home game, and a lot of other FCS teams and a couple of FBS teams. 28,000 is killing it in terms of attendance for a lot of FBS games. And so we accepted the game. Of course, we're going to play it. Me personally, I would have loved to have bought this game out, just because of what they did in terms of hiring that Marshall head coach. They're trying to stack the game against us because they knew they was going to get their ass whooped if they didn't do something different. But
it's terrible.
Folks in the chat said this game is going to be the most attended for the season.
For them, yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. They need your money.
Yeah, unless Charles Huff build a window down there in Hattiesburg, like it was when Jeff Bauer was the head coach. You ain't gonna, would be your biggest game.
Yeah, he's gonna do well, man. I don't think that's gonna be the last place he coaches. He's a rising star, man. That Huff guy, he's a rising star.
Okay, so for the 2024 FCS regular season attendance, Jackson State drawing 27,213 fans per home game. That's the average. And the next one leading up to that is Montana State with 25,845. And we did have some home games scheduled that, you know, the other team didn't travel. So FAMU didn't travel. Southern did. I was surprised that Southern didn't travel like they normally do, but Southern didn't travel.
Because them people down there ain't fool about that staff at Southern. I done told you that.
Southern still was 7th all around for
them people. They see. Listen. Until he makes that move at offense coordinator and gets a really good offense coordinator, because I told you, them Southern fans know football. That Southern's football has a legacy that goes way back, and they have a legacy that goes way back with championship football. And they know that Terrence didn't do that right. They know that. They know that. Don't let nobody fool you.
So you said
they know he didn't do that right.
Second?
Huh?
Yeah, Montana State and no, let me see. Let's look. So Jackson State still leading, and then I'm just going to tell you right now. I'm here to tell you right now. Some of those games we had as much as I want to say peaked at almost 40,000.
What was your biggest game in Jackson last year?
Probably homecoming.
Homecoming.
And what was the numbers?
Let me get it. Because, you know, that it don't matter who we have there. We gonna definitely that's definitely going to be a sellout.
Which one?
Our homecoming. We're going to have let me see. Okay. So Southern, we had 32,027.
Hey, also know if if y'all did it right, I keep y'all out my mouth.
We
You
had
ain't doing it right.
Wait a minute, 28,450 at Florida A versus Florida A&M.
That was a day game.
34,932 versus Arkansas Pine Bluff. Then we had Valley come. Valley was really what did it. Valley we only had 13,954.
What about Lane? Because we did play Lane at home.
Lane we had 26,700.
I'm not bad. That was WC Gordon class too.
And homecoming definitely was 40,000. Argue with your mammy.
Oh, okay. All right. Listen.